Hey everyone, welcome back to the Summer 2015 North American Challenger Series. We are very close to kicking off our third and final game of the night. This semifinal series between Renegades and Team Imagine could not be closer. 40-minute games, 40-plus minute games, both of them. Renegades taking game one, but Imagine very convincingly taking game two.
Yeah, showing that adaptation is huge between them. I know they have a coach, I believe it's Curry Shot GG, who's actually coaching for them, having them make these mid-series adaptations, changing up their style, running more threats. I think we're going to see a very different pick and ban phase here. It's not going to be the same, oh, we're just going to ban these guys. And I feel like, and I know it's very funny to say, but I feel like since Rise is off the table and he's not the permaban, at least it's kind of taken his place. At least swap sides. Some people are like, we don't want to ban it. We don't play it enough. So now picks and bans are a little more free in that regard. You get to ban more junglers. You get to target ban people out. You can throw a Twisted Fate ban in there every single time, and you still don't suffer that much.
Yeah, TF, Sivir off the table right now from Renegades. Urgot, Elise away from Imagine. So Imagine, they don't play Elise. They're afraid of Crumbs here. They're not letting them play that. Yeah, there's the Evelyn ban. You had to see it coming. Nidalee on the table as the potential first pick. Keep in mind, Thresh was first picked every single game this series so far. Do you care about Nidalee more than that? That answer had so far been yes, but if that remains, it has to be seen.
So Crumbs' Nidalee versus Baby's Thresh?
Yeah. Or vice versa, right?
Yeah,
if
because
we're really getting Thresh and Moon getting Nidalee.
If you ban Nidalee, yeah, you gotta
see the Thresh.
You've taken away two of Moon's carry junglers.
Right. I think it stymies him maybe more than is respectable, but Renegades gonna get that first pick Thresh in for Remilia. Both these supports had great games on the champion, so not a big surprise here. Imagine are gonna take away Crumbs' Rek'Sai. That will deny some of the vision play available, and even with Kalista on the field, Imagine said, you know what, we liked the Corki matchup last time, go play it against Steelback.
I guess they go ahead and they pick that up because it gives him backline and safety and self-efficiency.
It lets him like not be shut down by a single champion, not just being threatened by someone. I was always a little bit surprised to see Kalista was so heavily sought after. I thought she did have some weaknesses, and being hard dived is one of them. Yeah. And looks like with Renegades able to play a fairly aggressive comp, they're going to shy away from that champion. Of course, that gives it to Maple if Maple wants to play it himself. And if we think that's going to happen, no, actually another switch over. So Kalista available, neither team wants it, but tank jungles for both sides, and Graves versus Corki is the AD carry matchup.
Kind of a classic Maple Street.
Yeah.
He played a bunch of Graves, he played a bunch of Draven. This is back when he was in Challenger about over a year ago now.
Well, exactly a year ago, right? He qualified as teammate in summer 2014.
But he started over a year ago.
Okay.
Boom.
But, all right. I'll give you that one. I mean, he played with Velocity like way back when in season.
But he was in
2013. Yeah. Well, got demoted out of LCS, but we are back into this one, and I guess there wasn't really a challenger scene, so okay, you still win. Next few picks for Team Imagine. The Victor, of course, did work well for ManCloud. I wouldn't be surprised if that one again. Look, keep in mind, Orianna, it was so important for Renegades. Last game, they realized it wasn't actually that big of a deal because Victor was on the table. They switched the picks around. Imagine still are going to get Victor for themselves. And so last game around, Imagine counterpicked the Orianna with Victor. We'll see if Alex is going to play that anyway in the reverse of the matchup, or sorry, the same matchup, but maybe both players happy to pick into that battle. They think it's going to be okay. The lane itself was fine. It was the team fights that changed.
He's stuck on this Orianna. Alex each 3 for 3 for the Orianna pick here. RF, he is going to go back to the Kennen. They won with this, with the Kennen and the Orianna.
Yeah. I mean, this is the...
And they had Thresh, too, so this is
basically the exact same comp from Renegades. They switched out Urgot for Graves, another tanky AD carry. They sent out Rek'Sai for Gragas, who are practically the same champion as well. So in they go. RF going to be pretty aggressive up in the top lane there. And Chunky Fresh going to play Hecarim into it one more time, so Moon isn't going to be a damage source, but Chunky Fresh does get to. I think Hecarim a bit more reliable than Sion, though not as durable. Looks like Imagine going to be happy to play that kind of style, and we'll see if they can reach the back line and deal damage.
Both teams are taking 3 parts of their winning composition, Kennen, Orianna, Thresh, and then Hecarim, Victor, Corki. So they're just interchanging some pieces, junglers, AD carry, supports, and seeing what works, because we've seen both teams walk away with a victory with very similar compositions in terms of execution and what you do stylistically. That's what I want to see happen here today, is that clash.
Yeah, I'm a little sad to see Moon not have another carry jungler in his back pocket, though, with really just a Nidalee that they were happy to ban themselves, and only an Evelyn ban levied against him. He was like, that's the carry pool, I'm out. And that, I'm a little bit...
Might be AD Rek'Sai?
I think it's very unlikely, though, to be completely honest there. I don't think it's going to be the case, just because they've already got...
I would like to see Warrior from him, though, for the
Okay.
early pressure, and that's how they won the previous game, was early pressure. He can get a Warrior, then go damage from... or not damage, but then go tank from there.
Yeah.
He might be able to give them that extra boost through the early game that they've been leading in their series.
All right, well, here we are, guys, into the game, the decider. Game 3 between Renegades and Team Imagine. Winner makes the North American Challenger Finals, where they will await the winner of tomorrow's match between Team Coast and Cloud9 Tempest. And that will be a best-of-5 a week from Wednesday. The winner joining the LCS. Both these teams are 4 game wins away from an LCS spot if they can string these wins together.
And the winner of this game gets to at least play on the LCS stage minimum 2 times.
True.
A lot of these guys, though, they've come up. Let's just look at Moon for a second. Was Diamond last season. Before that, he was even lower. He wasn't Challenger, and he's been putting in hard work trying to climb as much as possible. And now he just took a game off of Crumbs.
Sure.
Alex Each.
Been in professional play forever.
People who have had this type of experience. And so Moon, to play on the LCS stage, I think would be a very big opportunity for him. There's always that nerves portion, though. So once he can get over that, if they do make it that far.
We'll have to see.
But regardless, whoever loses this, if I'm Cloud9 Tempest, I'm hoping that boot camp I've been going through with Charlie is working out.
Yeah. I think Challenger definitely shaping up quite well. The split, I'm actually very pleased with all the playoff teams. And I think also it's not been the split that many expected, right? So many were like, oh yeah, Renegade's the clear favorite, Cloud9 Tempest number 2. And that's definitely not the case here, that both Coast and Imagine have really stepped up and have done a great job in this split. The roster changes have been very big.
Yeah, who's Shrimp? Who's that guy?
Yeah, the best jungler Challenger.
Yeah,
pretty
but
much.
You wouldn't have heard his name until a couple of months ago.
Interesting.
It's just crazy. But here, we're seeing a little bit of a different
Crumbs
start.
gives the full first camp to RF. They are really trying to get Kennen ahead. I actually do really like Kennen into Hecarim, by the way. I think it's a very strong matchup. Kennen, a characteristic lane bully, and Hecarim pretty bad against ranged champions in general with his lack of escapes early game. So the heal start for Alistar, I think it's actually very smart in weak lanes such as this one, where early on the enemy jungler and enemy support have a lot of pressure on you. It'll take a while for this Imagine dual lane to stack up, though. Chunky Fresh got to share a couple of camps. TP's up there. RF just did the same. He even got a ward for himself off of the gold he got off of the Gromp. He was able to have that for himself so he can ward up against these Moon ganks, and that allows RF to play very aggressively without getting caught.
And blue buff on Chunky Fresh. Moon, Rek'Sai doesn't need blue buff.
Yeah.
You give it to whoever your top laner is. You give it to your mid laner as early as possible. It's actually a very good strategy. You just need the experience from it. If you're double jungling like that, why not give it to your top laner?
Yeah, very solid stuff. So a golden fusion on both sides. Hook not gonna land. Baby smartly dodges behind the minions, and we'll see how well this wave can be swept away. No reinforcements in just yet, so it might crash into the turret.
Moon just walked right over.
Yeah.
Right over.
Kill the trinket of RF and walk away. But now the Raptor buff will be down when RF does ward this, so he should be safe from any future ganks. Successful last hitting. Chunky Fresh just treading the line right now. And they know that Crumbs is on the bottom side of the map, so he can stay safe for some time. Crumbs will go for the bottom. Yeah. Bottom scuttle is going to be his. Not a problem at all.
I assume he's going to go for a deep ward as well, since he saw that Moon was on the top side of the jungle.
Yeah, track his second round of camps. Okay, just that one off to the side. He'll see him go down the river, essentially.
Still has to do his blue, or his red at this point. He's got some time. Still very healthy and has a potion in the inventory, as well as smite, so I wouldn't be surprised if he even goes for a gank just off of this, if there's a gank opportunity.
Yeah, you can smite for the health back, and then all would be well for him. There's the smite, there's the health bar. We'll see what Crumbs ends up doing in this one. CS basically identical. The first recall already came through. Moon gonna play much more vision-centric here. With the 2 early wards picked up, 1 green, 1 pink, I feel like Warrior is slightly less likely. I feel like if you're gonna go Warrior, you'd like rush the longsword almost even earlier. But still remain to be seen what ends up happening here. Crumb's not getting very low off the Krugs. I don't see the gank happening, so he'll recall for the Trailblazer before too long. We'll give some time for Moon. Once again, Moon could run to the other side of the map and steal some camps away. Walks right by a ward, puts his defensive pink down, pinged out by by Renegades, and he will not get this gank off successfully in mid. You can see Alex Itch hugging the left side of his lane as a result of the spotting of Rek'Sai. And this just will not happen. You can see Alex playing with the knowledge of where that jungler is. Yeah.
Still provoking ManCloud a little bit too. Still going for the trades.
Moon has to know better. This can't pay off. Quick out of there. We're okay though.
Are we?
Yeah, we made it. We're fine. Nothing of importance happened there. Nobody important died. Only some minions.
I mean, they are pretty important though.
No, they're not. Don't lie.
All right.
Combo comes in. They're going out to do some damage to Maple Street. I don't know if they saw where Gargus was or not, but not the biggest trade ever. Oh, big hook on a steal back though. They are going to go for the play. Half HP on this Corki. Nicely played by Remilia. And it's going to require quite a bit of time for Alistair to sustain this back up. I do like Coin Alistair though. The mana regen helps you get more heals out and it helps you keep your AD carry sustained.
Also gets you to the Talisman of Ascension eventually. Yeah. We didn't really see it too much last game.
Yeah. It's not like Face is bad on Alistair, but yeah, the engage tool without having to go for Righteous Glory is definitely kind of nice. See Alex still playing the wave of their game back and forth. Mid lane does have a small advantage to Alex here actually. ManCloud doing some damage, but first to 6 is Alex Itch. Should be able to recall soon, and the money will allow him to buy. Actually, he can't go for Chalice and more than an Amp Tome right now, so an earlier forced recall could deny some of the items he would want. Chunky Fresh still towing the line roughly equal to RF. Small deficit, but not a huge one.
Calling in crumbs. Time to break the freeze.
There's a ton of wards topside right now. RF, like, pretty much cannot get ganked right now by Moon. ManCloud just clearing back and forth, and looks like this will be Alex's recall right here. ManCloud might match. His E is back up right about now. Looks like he's going to save it and maybe... Oh, it actually... Wow. This... I don't believe it'll actually freeze, though. It's still on his side of the map, so... even though his minions took a bit more damage, it's not going to be ideal.
They'll focus one, though.
I think on both sides it will. This is going to push towards Alex.
I think that is actually most likely. It's going to push out towards Alex.
Yeah, I would like to see ManCloud actually shove that wave in.
Yeah, it's going to get reinforcements slightly sooner, too.
Yep. No, it's definitely going to push towards Alex, and so he's going to lose out on... right now he's -2, and we'll see that grow a little bit as time goes on.
Went for the quick upgrade. Now he... This is the beauty of Victor. People are always like, oh, Victor's so strong because he can just walk up and, you know, trade with people. It's like, no, he just spends 1,000 gold and then he's able to clear caster
Insta wave for the casters, yeah. Bam, there it goes.
So it makes him so strong.
Yep. All right, and blue buff respawn. So really, the early game plan working without a hitch. ManCloud timed his recall off blue buff respawning. I mean, really a lot of things working very much in sync right here. Similar situation, of course, for Alex Itch. That was jungler not yet ready. Bombi Cinder in for Crumbs. We are seeing a Ruby Crystal for Moon as well. So it is going to be a tank jungler. The second tank jungle game this series from Moon. And last game, it was all about his Evelynn ganks that got his team the win. We'll see how successful the Rek'Sai ganks will be in this one. So far, though, not a lot picked up. By this point in time, imagine it had already gotten first blood for Chunky Fresh.
It's true.
That seems less likely here in this one.
Yeah, they picked on RF's lane. And I feel like that's the lane you should pick on if you're Moon. There's a lot of escape potential bottom. Alex plays very safe on this champion. And RF, I mean, the Kennen, you can get the flash pretty easily. See, also Moon. No stranger to this Rek'Sai. He played it twice against Cloud9 Tempest in those 2 victories. Combined score of 3, 6, and 19.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
You're gonna have KDA, not bad.
I like reading out numbers and then Freak just does all the math.
Yeah. Easy peasy. I guess it's 3.66666666.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
I mean, at that point it's repeating. We all know what that means. I only go like 7 significant digits, you know. That was actually 6 significant digits, but whatever. Oh. All right.
Trump sees Moon. He hasn't moved yet.
All right. But level 7 on Moon, ManCloud 8. I can't see this being an easily succeeding gank. There's not a lot of ability power on Alex Itch. Just pink ward clears for days.
They might get priority in red buff, though.
Oh, no, they're going to get priority on bot lane. They're going to get a couple of wards done to spot what's going on, but this could be a hard dive. And this is completely known, but can Renegades outplay it? Chunky Fresh can stop RF's teleport. Oh, they don't go
They're
for
not
the.
going to go for it. They're just going to
They don't go for the bait. I think they could have gone for a bait and tried to burst out Crumbs and force him out of the fight.
Yeah, what happened was Maple Street, Remilia were shoving bottom so quickly. Like, it's a Graves. He's going to be able to buckshot the wave back up. That means that Maple Street and Remilia could actually get to where Moon and ManCloud were faster than Baby and Steelback were if they were the ones to react to it.
Yeah. Well, it does allow small CS to come over. Sheen versus BF Sword. Maple Street got a plenty good recall for himself. Steelback gonna have actually a hard time winning trades, and honestly, if a hook lands, Steelback gets nearly one shot actually by BF Sword Graves. That is actually a very tricky matchup to be a part of. There's a war that times out in 3 seconds. Oh, there's a flash pulverize. The headbutt gets him in a turret range. Maple Street cannot jump to the lantern in time. He just barely gets it. Flashes away, and Moon cannot get in range anymore. A perfect lantern by Remilia. Maple just barely gets out of it. So close.
Clicking it for dear life at that point. Almost. Baby, well played there to get him away from the lantern as far as possible. That gets the flash from Maple Street. They don't get the heal for it, but they blow 2 summoner spells from Baby to try and make that play happen.
They so nearly killed him off. Now, unfortunately for them, mid lane cannot roam down. Alexich able to keep control of all of this here, and it's a flash for a flash, but Ignite lost for nothing. Renegades just survive it all.
And it looks like they're bringing Moon bottom, or so Crumbs bottom.
I think he needs to hold the lane. I think there's a chance of a repeat gank on a flashless Maple Street here. Headbutt Pulverized combo would be plenty of burst. But Moon is just hard farming, taking away the Scuttle Crab in front of Dragon. In fact, after this wave gets cleared, Imagine could go for a Dragon Sneak off just the Corki and the Rek'Sai. They have bot lane pressure enough that it would be safe. Baby playing outside of hook range, very smart in that lower brush. It's like really small things that are hard to notice, but that was actually really intelligent where Baby is sitting.
Well, he also saw a vision of Remilia with the Trinket Ward in the brush.
But he's always been like exactly at that spot.
Yeah.
It's where he's camping, like the entire lane. It forces Renegades to ward that brush, use their trinkets on that.
They don't have ward coverage above them. It's actually blank for them in the river, so...
Alex can join though, so can Crumbs. This is actually a bit risky. There's the ward over the wall, and they're going to try to force the fight here. Sheen, level 7.
Base.
He's got home guards. He's running back towards the top lane. RF has teleport as well, and he's going to walk much more slowly in this one. Crumbs gonna have a hard time trying to steal. Moon should be completely safe. He's got true damage.
They're going to try Lantern Crumbs out. This is a smite fight.
Explosive. Oh, bam! Pickup right there. Well smited by Moon. Crumbs could not get the smite down in time. It was down to 450 health.
Oh, ManCloud. He's not choosing the right way to come back to lane. Alex can...
Oh, back over against the shield. He's gonna be okay in this one. Takes a lot of damage, but will survive the trade. Alex low enough on mana. That ManCloud should be safe. Still has heal.
Yeah, Alex got to back. ManCloud hasn't been able to back yet. He's sitting on 1,600 gold. Alex was able to complete his Chalice, or
yeah,
the Fiends and Holy Grail.
Well, there's the wave clear. This should be the recall. Alex would have to take 2 turret shots to stop the recall, so he will not do so. This will be Blasting Wand, Negatron Cloak, most likely for ManCloud. No magic and boots, I guess. Spent his money on some consumables. Down he walks. All right, 200 gold lead for Renegades, though. Again, a tight game. This is, in fact, the closest of all 3, which is very fitting, of course. Game 1, Renegades were actually pretty sizably ahead. Game 2 was just Moon crushing the early game. This one, very, very close here. 1 dragon. The first time the Mag has gotten the first dragon of the game, I believe, in this series. Just doing what they can to scale on up. Every lane matchup except the jungle is losing, though. Renegades outlaning yet again. Every single game this series, outlaning.
Imagine just aren't great individual laners. They're playing for those team fights, and they're usually getting counterpicked.
Yeah, oftentimes they are.
Into the Hecarim. Alex is pretty much just blind picking the Orianna and saying, you know what, I will play the farm game. So that's null no matter what. But he also, since he picks his mid laner so early on, it allows for them to see other things from Imagine.
Yeah, I think RF got counterpick all 3 games. And Alex just got it twice.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
Yeah, Imagine really not caring about their solo lanes getting counterpicked. And it seems like with Alex playing the same champion all 3 games, that doesn't even exist in this scenario anyway.
And you're first picking Thresh, too. So you get a lot of information when you're first picking your support against the enemy.
Sure. Well, it happens on both sides as well, but...
Yeah, because they don't usually lock in their support first in their 1-2 slots on the red side.
Yeah.
They usually take high priorities away. So you're like, okay, they have the Rek'Sai, they have the... Oh, they have Corki now, so I know what to pick. Or, oh, they have Hecarim. Yeah, right.
Well, we have a 300 gold lead for Moon in this matchup specifically. He's the only guy actually ahead in the sort of high farm matchups. Both these guys have Sight Stones and Cinder Hulks and Boots 1, so identical jungle builds, even down to the number of potions, it looks like. One of these guys is Sweeper on cooldown, so difference. Moon look for the mid lane, though. He wants Alex Ich, but flashes up on all sides means nothing's going to happen here. Level 11 on Orianna becomes a big damage threat now. Something that needs to be respected here. ManCloud has money for the Abyssal Scepter. That's going to be a nice buy for him. He did not run any MR glyphs, so this will be a nice boost in power for him, boost in durability, and will counteract a lot of the MR that Alex Ich has. Top lane matchup, plus 27 right now for RF.
Huge bullet. You can see he's almost got this turret down as well.
Yeah. And Chunky Fresh
7 AD.
Off the home guard, Merc is doing what he can to not get pushed around and, you know, able to get back to his lane. Teleports up on all sides here. Every single summoner spell, except for one smite, is available. Every single ultimate is up right now. There's nothing to really fight for. The lanes are just kind of slowly pushing back and forth.
RF's going to get this turret.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one objective that's actually going to be going down, and it's, imagine not really playing for it. Chunky Fresh will basically have a lane freeze for himself at some point if that turret goes down soon. But otherwise, really not a lot of pressure anywhere else in this map. 2 pink wards actually for Imagine defensively on the top side of the map, but Tracking Crumbs are not. They are not looking to knock down RF.
This is going to be the first significant gold lead of the game, putting them at about 1,300 up.
Yeah.
Pretty much off of RF solely. Getting the counter pick, he's got 800 gold lead for himself.
Yeah, he's most of the lead for the team.
Alex has about a 500. He's ready to spend 2,000 of it. Whew. But yeah, the fact that RF already has the completed Zhonya's, he's immensely up in CS, 35 up, got the turret solo.
Yeah,
That's
he's got money for
that's
sword
really
shoes.
That just shows, like, Kennen is that champion that can either destroy the lane and bully it, or if he gets shut down, he feels awful, and he's just trying to scrape his way back into the game, trying desperately to get his Zhonya's, trying desperately to get some type of damage.
But he got counterpick, and he knows Chunky Fresh is, you know, a weaker laner than him, and lo and behold, it shows up here. One of the very few Kennen players in the competitive scene. Riv's happy about that. Yeah, it's a fun champion to watch.
Riv is just sneaking into every cast.
And he is, man.
Every game.
Well, Baby still has Headbutt, though. Maybe he can knock RF out of these team fights. This time around, it's not going to be the same sort of battle. Imagine actually have so much burst, they could try to one-shot RF. They've got a lot of hard CC. Headbutt pulverized into Victor ult pretty much just kills the guy, so there's definitely some threat here. RF has to be mindful about his engages.
Gotta be careful, though, because every time he's been able to hit that Zhonya's, and last time he played Kennen in that game 1.
Big damage on Vermillion. Headbutt pulverized lands on the Crumbs. It flays in Baby. Knockback from Gragas, and not going to hurt him too badly, but it is still an ulti down for the support that makes Alistar squishy now. Vermillion has a hook. Still no kills yet, 18 minutes into this game.
Yep, only a turret's dropped and a dragon. Traded a turret for a dragon so far. RF constantly shoving the top wave, Chunky Fresh, and these TP plays have just not been coming out just yet.
Not been much of an opportunity for one.
These mid laners just having a dance back and forward. Clear the wave.
Oh, combo hits Vermillion. That
Heal.
is not good for Thresh. Big burst comes out. TP's coming across as well. Vermillion will burn down with the Ignite. No, not yet. In comes RF. They catch off Baby. Here's Alex Ich on the side. They've got the Victor in as well. Maple not yet dead. Chunky Fresh finally picks one up. Now can he reach Vermillion? Not yet. There's the ult. He picks up a second kill of the fight, but Crumbs gets one right back. It's a 2 for 2 on this one. Alex Ich going to be jumped on the flash Q. Not enough for ManCloud. Alex still being chased, but the distance will get him out of this one. The slow's going to be enough.
That heal just barely saving him there. If that didn't go off, RF was going to be done for. The dragon is up. They have 80 carry still up, so they'll be able to take this for Imagine. Ended up being a 2 for 2.
First blood lead did go over.
It's true, it did go over to Renegades.
But both the kills this time around for Imagine, the kills went onto Chunky Fresh. In game 1, Baby had the first 3 kills of the game just by pure happenstance and slight misplays. And this is actually now gold in the right spots. It means most of Triforce now going to be done for Chunky Fresh. Nothing to fight for, unfortunately, for Imagine, but he will have a really nice time in the matchup now. Or at least a better one than he would have.
Crumbs is going for...
I'm going to guess Frozen Heart. I would not expect this early of a Zeke's Harbinger.
Yeah. All right, if he sits on the Glacial Shroud, I'm okay with it. I'm not that sold because he's already got Ninja Tabi. Steelback is casting a bunch of spells. And you also have a Victor on the team. And Hecarim's not hugely auto-attack focused. So this right here, RF being able to get into the cluster of people was big. Oh, Alex using Shockwave only on Moon, and Moon still gets
Didn't
out.
even get him. Wow.
Chunky Fresh had a good TP there too. The position of his TP to get him onto the backside and into the thick of the fight. After RF had separated everybody up and north, Chunky Fresh was still on the bot side, and he's a damage threat.
Yeah.
So if he was playing Scion, he wouldn't have been able to accomplish something like that. So it was really good that his Hecarim was locked in this game, showing that you do need that third threat on this Imagine lineup. Because RF would have been able to section off ManCloud and Steelback there, and they pretty much didn't do any more damage in that fight. They had to go off to the left side. That's basically all they were able to do. So good TP by Chunky Fresh.
Absolutely a great TP. Absolutely, absolutely. So, interesting game right here. 2-2 in kills. A 1,600 gold separation here. Most of that is the top lane turret going down with some good laning by RF. Bot lane will go down, though. Nicely picked up by Team Imagine, equalizing the turret score, bringing the gold within 900 here.
All of it to Steelback, too.
Yeah. This is going to be, once again, a very, very big Corki. 1,200 gold in inventory means he can... Oh! He's going to be okay on this one, actually. This is actually a decent fight for ManCloud. A Missile Scepter is on.
To the right.
Zonia's for Alex in, but now that means knockouts can happen. Good explosive cast, the flash, headbutt, pulverize. The flash in, Steelback gets some Moon. Gets the kill himself, but a 3-assist kill means goodbye. Lots of flashes burned, but still worth it.
They were already on their way. I don't know if he had his Zonias there. It actually gave Imagine more time to get to Alex each.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw the reinforcements coming, though, so I think he was just there to try to dodge some of the...
We saw that they killed bottom, and then they started going up. He didn't know if they were backing,
I think
they were
right.
on their way. Crumbs was off on the left side, and that's why he picked that fight in the first place. He was waiting for Crumbs to get there, but he got beaten to the punch.
Well, well done, Team Imagine, for the first time this game with a gold lead, or sorry, a kill lead. Gold lead is still with Renegades, but top lane is able to be pushed around a little bit, so Chunky Fresh catching a bit back up here.
Yeah, and getting that extra kill on him, too. It's going to put him only 400 behind. 450, 400 behind of RF.
Yeah, that's going to be solid.
Now.
He is
picking up this wave.
Almost at Trinity Force himself, so Chunky Fresh just is going to power spike in the next 40 seconds here, and that will be very massive. Smart lane swap here that's sending Steelback and Baby top side to knock down another outer turret. And that is not yet answered. Maple Street still staying bot, as that outer's not dead yet.
If they shove this wave out and it crashes against the turret, it's going to give Chunky Fresh a great opportunity.
Oh, I like this. I want to see Imagine basically shove out mid and then send 5 guys top and like push for top tier 2. They would outpush very easily on Triforce AD carry. And with 5 of them, they could knock down so much. Oh, I mean, they would evaporate the structures here, but
that's what they're doing.
ManCloud's got to be real careful. He went to the right-hand side of the lane for some wards, but this is a pretty big risk. A recall for Chunky Fresh. They're not trying to push any more than this. They could have, though. They could have gotten so much. Okay, he's going back for it.
They're looking to dive Alex.
Maple will easily kill bot lane.
Alex almost has flash back up. Maple's going to kill bot. They're going to trade tier 1 turrets. Alex each feels the pressure on him. They see that they're getting all these wards down on the left side.
I think this is too gun shy.
Oh,
dear Lord, ManCloud, good luck on this one. Tries to burst Alex, a lot of damage here. Does not have the flash yet. Oh my God, he wins the trade. 1v2 gets the kill. And they still let Hecarim get some farm.
Alex had heal.
Wow.
He didn't expect that damage from the Q to actually pop him.
Well, that is unfortunate stuff right there, but well picked up. It's still more gold going over to Renegades, but the kill did go to Remilia. So as far as ManCloud's concerned, he's actually got more gold than Alex did because of that fight.
It was big. That was big. And he goes for the blue upgrade before the death cap this game.
Yeah.
Looking for the mobility. Would be able to trade, because he's got an advantage in this lane now, just barely. And a lot is actually happening here. Walked back into it. He didn't even see that come. But look at this damage here.
He didn't Zonia's either.
And you can see, Alex still has flash and
Alex could Zonia's and just like not die.
Yeah. Oh.
Zonia's couldn't have been still down, I don't think. There's a chance, but I really don't think so. A Missile Scepter in for RF.
I just think he wasn't expecting that type of damage from the auto attack.
Oh. Unfortunate misplay. Well done by ManCloud.
Q auto E, I'm pretty sure is one of the highest just 2 damage abilities in the game.
I think Anivia QE is probably higher, but that's like it. Even QE is stupid high damage.
Even considering that you get Q damage, auto attack with the extra on it, and
Even
then E hits twice?
Yeah, because that's a 2.0 AP ratio for Anivia. Victor does not have AP ratios quite that high in the two basics. I'll read them off, all right?
Read them off for me.
So, 0.7 AP ratio with 40% bonus is basically 1 on the E. And the Q is... Hold on, there's a fight going on. I'm going to stop this one for now. Here we go, the jump on in, maybe gets hooked, does not land the pulverize, but a two-man knockout for Moon.
Chunky's
Big
here.
burst comes out, Chunky goes in, they get some damage on Ermilia, but is that really who they want? RF pushed away, the ulti not going to do much, but a great explosive cast to keep the fight going. They've already picked off one. Chunky Fresh is down, Baby's a second kill. This is a good fight now for Renegades. A beautiful shotgun catches another two. Seal back on the run. Moon's probably going to die in this one, but ManCloud here to separate this one. Try to keep him alive. That's going to be enough of the barrel, though, and it's a huge, huge fight for Renegades. How much can Imagine even clean up off this one?
Just the setup for that fight. RF got a TP onto the back line.
A little bit first.
He got everybody he got to stun everybody but Chunky Fresh, and Chunky Fresh had nobody to help him out. They're still going for ManCloud though, but he's gonna make it out of it. A
3-for-0, still solid. Dragon's up right now, which is a big thing for Renegades. 2,000 gold lead for them, and a massive situation for these guys. They finally got the first dragon. It's a lot of stats in the table.
Oh yeah, being able to multiply it basically negates the first dragon that Imagine have.
Yep.
I want to see that again because the setup for that is actually really good.
They spent so much damage on Remilia, who just would not go down here.
Right here.
Watch the targets.
These TP positions. Remilia throws down the ward, and as soon as she gets caught, boom. Here comes RF's TP. Watch RF stun. Because Chunky Fresh dives in, RF, boom. 4 people, 3 people, and Steelback. Steelback doesn't get stunned there, but he's off on the right, and he doesn't get to deal any damage. So everybody gets to hit Chunky Fresh, and they get to use Alex Each and Crumbs, and they get to use their whole unit to take him out. And then they get to reconvene after RF didn't even die, because he got knocked out a little bit too late. So well executed there by RF. He's been just creating a lot of advantages for them in the top lane, just based off CS, and now this Kennen is showing up to the team fights, and those are the flanks that you really want as a Kennen player in team fights. That's the avenue in.
Yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't even show up in KDA, right? Top lane turret solo kills, not part of KDA. The fact that he separated the other 4 members of Imagine while Chunky Fresh went down. RF didn't get a kill participation in that one, but he's done so much to set this game up. I definitely think he's been doing a great job.
Robbed of the KDA.
Robbed of the KDA, but you know what? I feel like if you win games, I'm okay with that one. I would happily win every single game with a .02 KDA.
Look like a scrub.
Win the games, don't care. Get the challenger border. Chunky Fresh. Still gonna get plenty of farm. He's never freezes the lanes though, which I really don't like. I realize like Baron is on the field, so like he has to be a little bit afraid of that. But like RF couldn't extend for a lane like really far back, and I really think Chunky could do better to freeze these lanes a bit more often. Double items done for both AD carries, but Maple Street very far ahead right here, 2-1 and 3. He's up over 1,000 gold here and nearly done with his 3rd item. Bloodthirster is only 1,000 gold away for him. Steelback hasn't even started his 3rd. That is definitely a concern because by the time next Dragon's around, you have a significant difference in the results from your AD carry. Renegade's able to play a good mix of tankiness and damage. RF can be, you know, a front liner with the Zonias. Crumbs, of course, practically unkillable. And Remilia with the Locket, just tanky enough to allow Crumbs to buy more selfish items.
Oh man, I didn't think that Frozen Heart was going to be extremely effective. Especially in comparison to the Aegis that Moon was able to complete so early
on. How magic damage focused Imagine seems to be, but it's working out for him. He's getting the cooldowns. He's getting one of the things to keep in mind is CDR is a tank stat for Gragas because his W comes up more often, and it's a significant amount of damage reduction. And pretty much everyone maxes it first, as Crumbs has here. 18% damage reduction for 2.5 seconds on a 3-second cooldown, provided you can attack. So that's basically half the time. It's as good as 40 MR roughly.
But not for your team.
Well, that's why they have Remilia with the Locket. Like, who cares?
So Remilia had to go on Locket duty. delays the engage, but they're really
They
counter-engage.
don't seem to need it. I mean, Crumb's got distortion boots really early on. He can body slam flash ult and start the fights.
You're also counter-engaged. Kennen is a very big counter-engage tool, as well as Orianna. You control zones, you stop them from coming into your team.
Yeah. I really think Imagine needs a split push threat. Like, no one can threaten RF, and that's a really big deal. Chunky Fresh can't win the matchup, and Moon is not a damage source that can kill off RF either. If this was like his old AP Evelyn, he'd be fine. He'd actually do plenty of damage, and RF would have to be afraid. But really, because you're talking about Renegades being this big counter-engage style team, right? They're waiting for things to happen to them. Imagine don't have any aggressive actions to make except for start a team fight. They can't aggressively push any lanes in, right? The wave clear is too good from everyone. They don't have any split push threats. And so it just, Imagine has to play into Renegade's hands every single time.
Doing?
Stealing camp.
Got the 16 off of
Solid. Once again, double upgraded warding totem for both these teams actually. Exact same trinkets, except for the fact that Baby is upgraded to Sweeper. Vermilia captain boots here on the Thresh with Mobius can really get her team around the map.
I believe she did Captain Boots in game 1 as well.
I don't remember. I trust you.
Well, I always talk about how Vermilia is the person who's always leading the charge, engaging the fights.
Yeah.
She's the big engage tool that they use. So Captain Boots is actually a very common buy for her. Also, if you're getting somebody to try and take a lantern and they're running at you,
yeah,
you give them a little more movement so
they
you
get to the lantern sooner. Yeah,
it's brilliant.
It's great. Gotta say, when you have like Janna with Captain Boots, you run around the map so darn fast. Everyone's got like 420 something movement speed, just zipping around.
Then you get Dragon 3.
You're even faster.
Life is good. Speaking of life is good, Vermilia, 100% kill participation.
Pretty
Lot
solid.
of picks.
Yeah. All right, well, Renegades, when will they turn up the heat? They got the last Dragon off of a smart team fight. They haven't really fought since, but Renegades have done a good job of getting their ward control back up for this one. Look at their wards. They've got most of it blacked out. They didn't sweep away the pink inside the Dragon Pit, but it wouldn't take long for that to go away. Baby Sweeper on cooldown, Dragon alive in 7 seconds, and Imagine having to play on the defensive side of this lane. They have to respect the Alex at Chakra, the Crumb's Body Slam Flash. Top lane cleared away, then the recall for Chunky Fresh. He's going to join the team now. But no, he's going to stay and actually wait for a home guard TP, but there's not a lot of wards down for Imagine. They're pinging some of the defensive wards on the other side of the map, but sorry, aggressive wards on the other side of the jungle, but I don't think it's going to be successful. Here's the TP. He's trying.
Every play
Here's
counts.
the flank play. When can RF join? Can he get in? Looks for Crumbs, knocks him back a little bit. Here comes RF, Baby. Not going to zone him out. There's the pulverize, the headbutt. But oh, the shockwave. Complete whiff on that one. Moon does not find a way in. He's got to be careful. He's getting slowed down. Flashed away. Vermilia wants in. Mabel gets the kill. Barely gets away from the hook there, but a 1-for-0. A big misstep by Moon. Chunky Fresh wants in, finds nothing. He wants Crumbs. Ignites on. He's gonna kill him after the smite even still. Hook's gonna land though. Maple's here. How much time can they buy? Chunky's trying to run. A bit of burst on towards Alex. Mancloud, a lot of damage. Gets Alex, hits the solo kill, but Chunky Fresh is down. It's still a 2-for-2. Who's got the pressure? It's 2 big carries missing on both sides.
But they have the wave clear here with Mancloud. Mancloud is able to just clear out waves. It looks like they're going towards
Baron?
the Baron?
This can't possibly work.
Well, if they have tunnels nearby, they can
They're trying for that.
They're trying to sweep it out.
There's no tunnels.
There's one above the red.
Yeah, he can go towards the Raptor Pit. They're trying for a Baron right now. RF does not have teleport. He's running across the map. No home guards in for anybody. And this is going to be the desperation Baron right now for Imagine. It goes down so incredibly fast. Maple and Vermilia are here. Smite is up for Moon. They hook Baby. That's okay. He's going to go down, but it's still going to be enough. There's Baron picked up. Now, can they run? Crumbs is not here yet, but there's a flash in. Mancloud, 1 hit away, goes down. A double kill for Maple Street. It's a 3v5 with Baron on.
3v5 Baron on 3 members, but Maple Street's huge. He's 6-1 and 3. And he has 30 CS higher than Steelback. He's ready to just shred turrets, and he has 2 big AD items ready. He doesn't even need that Last Whisper just yet. Nobody's prioritizing armor. Maple Street, he just might be having one of those games again where he's highest damage.
And he's basically on Last Whisper Gold as well. He's going to be a 4-item AD carry. Steelback on his way, the slow way towards the Infinity Edge here. He's got another 1,000 gold to go before that one comes in, though. So Maple Street going to have a item and a half lead over the opposing AD carry, Mancloud. Really going to be the only major damage threat as a result of how far behind Steelback is. A good comeback push here. Imagine will knock down the mid lane outer turret as a payment for the Dragon. So Dragons are tied up, turrets are tied up. And Imagine trying to make up for the gold deficit of the kills in the laning phase.
What can they do with this Baron buff? So Imagine has to be able to take more turrets with this and even that up. Get jungle control, get pressure, get priority in these lanes.
They got a blue buff steal.
Shove waves up. So they got a turret, see if they can get any more and actually create this into a larger advantage. It was a good Baron afterwards. I really like that they rushed that and that Moon was in position to do so. But the fight right before was very sloppy. They still had avenues in. They had opportunities. Chunky Fresh didn't hit anybody with the ultimate. Alex didn't hit anybody with the ultimate. Just very sloppy back and forth beforehand.
Wow, it's a really big deal right now. Steelback actually is able to... oh no, Steelback, you... Okay, so he sold the Dorans and bought a longsword to... He's doing the Bloodthirst for Last Whisper instead of Infinity Edge. I really wish he would have went Infinity Edge here. This would have been such a huge damage threat. Because the thing is, he's actually not as easily reached. Like, Steelback is super safe in this game, and playing as a conventional AD carry is a huge deal here.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to get through Crumbs, and I think going for Last Whisper BT is incorrect.
He needs the Last Whisper to get through the Frozen Heart, the Zonias.
Infinity's is still more damage than Last Whisper here. Like, it's objectively, like, even with 1,000,000 armor, Last Whisper is actually, as far as pure like DPS is concerned, never an item you'd actually buy on Corki. If you're just going for like Trinity Force hits, then it's fine, but I think he needs to play conventional damage in this team composition. I think Corki's one champion you actually should adapt their builds more often than not, and no one really does it. But this was a case where I think you really should have.
What, an 80 carry champion?
One of the 80 carry champions that you actually adapt your build, should adapt your build maybe like 1 out of every 3 games.
Nice. Do I need Zerk Greaves?
Yeah.
I need Zerk.
Last time I played Corki, I actually did Zerk Greaves because we had to get rid of tanks.
There's actually a very interesting thing that you pointed out to me was his damage palette changes depending on where you are in the game. If you're ahead, he's mostly physical damage in the end graphs.
Yeah.
If you're behind, it's usually much higher magic damage, like 60-40 spread.
Because you have to poke because you got nothing else to do. But if you're allowed to Gatling gun for like an entire team fight, you do some stupid amounts of damage. That thing does like 450 damage on a conventional build and shreds like 50 armor or something. You can destroy people with a conventional AD carry build. Alright, well, we'll see what happens though. AD carry builds aside, 1,300 gold. This lead has shrunk incredibly. Imagine managed to pick up a ton of waves for themselves, I should say, and they bring it back to close. Renegades, though, still in the lead. Game 3 winner moves into the Challenger Finals. Imagine showing up much better than many would have expected from this team, but have surged so well late in the season. Steelback kind of at the helm.
Oh yeah, they were lucky to even get into Challenger, having to play a 3rd, 4th place match, shuffle their roster around. The fact they got in because Fusion decided to not be able to, like, not decided, but Fusion wasn't able to field a full roster.
Yep.
Kind of just by pure strokes of luck back-to-back, Imagine was able to come out with this roster, win enough games near the end, pull up to this 3rd place spot, and now they're 1 game away. They took a game off of Renegades.
Yeah. Well, Frozen Heart's done now for Chunky Fresh. That's a huge item coming through here. Dragon 5 not on the table for a long time here. It's gonna actually, Dragon's gonna come up at the same time as Baron, interestingly, which will be an interesting timing scenario. That means the guy with the better teleporter is probably going to get the Dragon. And the 3-3 Hecarim. Chunky Fresh keeping himself solid right here.
Yeah, a lot of this is about TP plays.
Yeah.
RF and Chunky Fresh putting themselves in positions and their team warding for them and giving them proper teleport points to get into a team fight, to flank them, to be able to back them up at the right time. But every play, every little tiny play in this game counts, because everybody wants to get into the LCS without having to play an LCS team to do so. Because your chances when you do have to play against an LCS team go down drastically. And it's a strange thing because it's not that, you know, oh, LCS teams are supposed to be better than Challenger teams and things like that. It's they have way more experience on the stage than you do if you have nerves in front of the crowd, all these other things. So basically, even if they aren't better than you, they can beat you with experience.
Chunky Fresh, though, making some good split push plays right here. Takes down the top lane tier 2 turret. Actually beats RF to that punch, so even though he lost the first turret of the game, Chunky doing a much better job now in the mid to late game. We crest 40 minutes into this one. Dragon and Baron are going to spawn at about the same time. The 15-second desync is actually enough for your team to rush Dragon and get to Baron in time. Whoever has the map control can take that down right away and get the movement speed buff. It's actually an incredibly important dragon that's spawning right now. And it's going to be a huge deal for both these teams.
I think Chunky Fresh is now in the point where Kennen can't kill him.
Yep. He's got the Void Staff now, but the persistent damage just isn't there on Kennen as a champion.
Kennen's pretty bursty and then has that period where he can't do anything.
If you went like Nashor's Tooth, you could try that kind of stuff, but I mean, obviously not his build.
Lots of shurikens. Only 700 gold difference between these two teams.
Oh,
Man-Cloud?
they're going to try for it. Good flash. Shockwave only gets Baby. Crumbs wants in. Going to knock in Man-Cloud, and down he goes. That's a huge deal. Baby's dead too. A 2 for nothing in time for Baron. And maybe even a lot of the base.
50 seconds on both of them, and it's only 25 seconds. Chunky Fresh still shoving the top wave. They'll have TP for later, but it's not going to mean much.
Mid lane tier 2 into Baron, I think, is the call right now for Renegades. They're running to Baron right now. I really think they could knock down the mid lane first. They know the Baron timer. This is patch 5.14. You get the global timer when it goes down, and they're not going to pressure mid. They just want the Baron. They're going to secure that for certain. And that means Dragon can go over to Imagine. They should clearly know this is theirs. It's going to be a trade of objectives, of course, but 2 kills and Baron's a big deal. This is so risky for Moon. He's now revealed. He's showing that he's around. He puts the ward down. Explosive cast and body slam. He flashes over.
Way too early.
It's way too early in. He's already burned the smite. He's got no chance at all. Legendary for Maple Street. Moon does not have the chance here.
They stopped DPS.
Yeah, it was exactly right. Correctly played by Renegades.
They swept it, which denies him the vision, deactivates the ward, and then they stop damage, and they stayed at 2,900. He was counting the DPS and saying, okay, it's going to go down in 2, 3, now, and you saw him flash over and smite it immediately, and it just took it from 2,900.
Yeah. I can't disagree with the risk taken right there. I think it was arguably the right choice. 1 kill at this stage of the game doesn't mean that much. Just because of the texture of the lanes, you're not going to get anything off the Moon Death. But he's off the field. It's going to give some time for Renegades to get these waves under control. Of course, they've got Baron, so plenty for these guys to do. Final item through for Maple Street. He's got Guardian Angel. Zeke's yet again in for Alex Ich, so it's going to be ridiculous the kind of damage Maple Street does here.
100% crit.
100% crit when Zeke's is on him. And that's going to be so hard to deal with. Now, he does not have a black shield, so Chunky Fresh can land the fear into the Man-Cloud ulti, and they can pop that GA. But mid lane's going to go down pretty quickly. Hook's going to land. Baby has ulti, though. He's okay. He's okay. Now, can he get the engage? What's he going to find? Pushes back Maple, but it's not really enough. Inhibitor's still going down. The team forced to run away.
Chunky's still pushing, though.
He's going to get a lot for this one. He might get the inhibitor turret itself. RF's going to recall back, but he will not stop the turret itself from going down. The inhibitor's missing, certainly. And teleport disadvantage. Chunky Fresh can TP into a 5v4 that RF cannot join. And the team's going to collapse down onto RF. This could be very scary. Both top laners will be missing from a 4-on-4. Imagine pushing down. Chunky Fresh will teleport, and he will be safe to do so. RF cannot stop that TP.
Oof. If he had popped his ultimate, but then he would have had to know that it was a TP coming out.
I think you assume when you do it.
Yeah.
Because you, at the very worst, you stun him, and your team shows up in time.
Or you stun him, and then he starts TPing. And then
but that's okay, because you're going to get the cooldown back in time before anything happens. Because Baron's going to time out in the next minute. I think you're not likely to get much more pushed out because you have to wait for waves anyway. I think that would have been totally fine.
Yeah. Once you had thrown the shuriken in there.
Really, really, really small point, to be completely honest.
It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, well, TP advantage will go to RF in the next 1 minute. When that cooldown comes back, Chunky Fresh waiting in a brush.
Maple's full item ahead.
Yep,
There's
it's
GA
scary.
on me.
At least that's not an offensive item though, so theoretically the DPS is almost the same if you're not counting Zeke's.
Yeah,
if you're not counting Zeke's. But bottom lane going to be cleared away really cleanly. They actually do get to that turret in time with the Baron buff, so I take that one back. Renegades pushing a lot out of this one, and they will look for their second inhibitor turret. Baron timing out in 20 seconds. Your hook nearly catches. Baby has ulti back up, but no flash. Chunky Fresh clearing waves. You can see Maple Street playing a bit safely. He knows that there is a lot of... There's just a lot at stake in this game. Gets one auto attack, backs out. Red Elixir's on. Look for another play. Hook on a Baby. Baby's okay. Pops the ulti. Vermilion knocked back. No burst comes through. Chunky
Look
Fresh
right
gets
here.
hit with Shockwave. Baby's got no ulti. Crumbs goes in. They push in ManCloud. He's got to try to stay safe. Burst comes through. What can they get with this one? ManCloud already goes down. A 2-0 so far. A 3-0. This will be the game. That's going to be 3 kills picked up for 1. It's a big retreat for Imagine. This could be the game-winning push right now for Renegades. They've got minion waves coming in right now.
The minion waves coming in from the mid lane. They already have double supers as well. This is going to be just pushes onto the Nexus. They might be able to do this. Here come the crits.
It's going to require heroics, and it's not going to happen. Renegades going to take the third game, 16-7 in kills. They were in control at least a little bit the whole way through. Game 3 will go to them, and Renegades are headed to the Challenger Finals.
And to play on the LCS stage next week, no matter what, they're going to be in promotion tournament or in the LCS.
Renegades are a best-of-5 victory away from joining the LC. If they've got 2 tries, they've got the Challenger Finals, if they fail that, they've got a battle against either teammate or enemy esports. You win one of these battles, and these players, in many of their cases, are back into the LCS. Maple Street, Alex H, Crumbs, they've already done that. They've either gotten benched from their old teams or moved out or replaced specifically, and the drive is still there. They're still trying to make it back, and it's certainly a possibility here for Renegades.
That was another game where Maple Street did the most damage in the game, and then Alex Each was actually 3rd in damage behind Maple and RF. So once again, he just kind of became a shield bot there. And I do have to say, we didn't get to touch on the play a lot, but the person who opened up the game was Remilia. The hook onto ManCloud from the Raptor pit gave them the advantage they needed. It gave them Baron afterwards and put Moon in a bad position. They were able to pick up so much off of that. Honestly, you see why Thresh is first picked all 3 times in this series and why both these players, Baby and Remilia, favor that champion. They're able to make the plays and just blow the game out of proportion for themselves. Really just well played there.
Yeah. And I really think one of the missing elements here for Team Imagine was a bit more X Factor, I think from Moon specifically, because in the game that they won, it was the fact that he could prey on RF or prey on one of these lanes and be like, surprise, I'm ganking, and pick up a kill and allow Chunky Fresh to have a pressure lead over RF and allow that team to have other ways of playing other than team fights. But when you have to group up to do anything, when your only recourse is grouping up, then will long-range hooks or burst or engage tools that RF have, or RNG in general have in spades, becomes a weakness. And it happened, right? They had to group up for hooks. Of course, a very well played game by them. Their overall shot calling, their overall laning, clearly better on the Renegades side. Imagine made it close, and honestly closer than most people would have expected. This is still a very scary team in Challenger, but I mean, Renegades deserve that one.
Yep, loser of tomorrow's match has to play them. So I don't know, Cloud9 Tempest, I'm hoping that the boot camp plays out.
Sure.
And I hope that for Coast, if I'm them, that they're able to pull out a win and avoid that, because Imagine is not a team I want to play to see if I even get to go to the Challenger.
Sure. I mean, nor is Renegades up in the finals, right? These are obviously very strong teams overall. Definitely a worthy match, went to all 3. But joining us to talk about that victory on the game is Renegades jungler Crumbs. Crumbs, man, congratulations on the win. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm a lot relieved. I really.
I imagine, man, both your wins took over 40 minutes. Tell me about just coming into the series, like what you expected from this BO3.
Well, we actually had Imagine as a constant scrim partner before we found out that we were playing each other. So as soon as we found out that the seeding is like, okay, wow, we're going to have to play the team that we play a lot of practice against. And so we kind of knew how they played, but obviously in the day of practice it's going to be a lot better. I was hoping that we would win, but that was really it, to be honest, because our practice was going really poor. And then it's kind of just like huge downswing with a upcoming upswing right now that's getting the morale really high, because before we were doing too hot, and just really glad that we were able to pull it off. Although I think the games were just really stalemated because of how much was on the line. Like, it was very close. It's like, well, if you lose right now, like, you are all like, you have no guarantees. Like, your league career could be over if you lose right now. So I think that the games just really were slow because of that.
So what's your impression of Imagine as a squad? Because they came out pretty much after changing rosters a whole bunch. What do you think of them right now?
You know, the game, not so much happened. I feel like they have a good compositions that they want to run with a good understanding of their champions, but they're really focused on ManCloud having pressure in the mid lane. It felt like just every wave that they're aggressive is only because ManCloud is able to push in. So I feel like they're a very centered team centered around the mid lane, and Moon had a scary full AP Evelynn, to say the least.
Yeah, man, I really love seeing full AP Evelynn. Actually, I remember you had like a tweet battle
lost.
with Kobe about it. Well, hey, you won the BO3, it's fine, right? So I noticed, by the way, you pulled a bunch of Elise bans. I just want to ask about sort of the evolving jungle landscape. Is that your Cinderhulk Elise? Is that a Runeglaive Elise? Like, what's the Crumb secret?
That is Cinderhulk Elise. So the thing about Elise right now is that she got buffed, and I really didn't like her before, and I still don't really like her that much, but I can't play her. But the strength that she has is that, unlike every other champion, she's a ranged jungler. So there's only Nidalee and Elise that are ranged junglers, which is really strong in combination with champions like Braum. You saw them ban Braum. So an old strategy was you go with Braum and Elise, which makes a really strong skirmish combination in the early game that you just roam around and nothing can 2v2 you. So super strong early game jungler, especially around dives. So if you pick like really aggro lanes that chunk the enemy down, Elise allows you to just tower dive very seamlessly, because you have easy harass, easy set up without taking tower damage, and then you just get a nice easy kill. And I think that's why they were worried about it, because she's very aggressive in the early game.
All right, I want to go back to your team for a little bit here, because you talked about you guys had a little dip in practices. You guys were losing some games near the end of this split, and also you guys were talking about how you thought your champion selects were the reason that you were losing before. So what have you guys been doing in that time that's really gotten you here to winning this game against Imagine and preparing yourself to go into the finals?
Well, I think that we quit our bull and was just like, look, these are the champions that we're playing. We don't have enough time to practice anything new. Like, go practice a new champion, like in the off season and whatnot. But we have to play these champions that are strong, that we know that we can work. We have to perfect them and then really work on the team aspect of the game. So we really just wanted to hammer down the team aspect, as opposed to it's like, oh, I can play X jungler well.
All right, and obviously your prep worked out. You got 3 Orianna games in a row. You won 2 of them, so that seemed to work out for you guys. I want to ask you about tomorrow night's match, by the way. So Coast, #1 seed coming in, Cloud9 Tempest. How do you feel that semifinal is going to go, and how you feel you're going to do against the winner?
I am actually sad about that game, that it is a best of 3, because I would like to see both of those teams go all the way to the best of 5, because I think they're evenly matched. It's going to be a really close game. Like, I think it's going to be closer than the series that we had today. Like, we've got the chance to play against both of them, and I really like both of the teams, to be honest. Like, all of them have a different style that they like to go with, certain kind of pizzazz to their play. So I'm really excited to see that game, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I'm actually excited to cast it here. So final question for you. So we're heading into the North American LCS playoffs, and unfortunately our analyst desk is a little bit short-staffed. You gonna be joining us on Saturday?
I'd love to, absolutely. Just keeping my seat warm.
All right.
I'll be right there next to you, man.
All right, nice.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Crumbs, and I guess thanks for joining us on Saturday. Good luck in 3 days and in the finals.
All right, thank you. Glad to be here.
Of course, man. Thank you very much. All right, so our first semifinal matchup is in the books. Here's how the bracket stands. Renegades, of course, they've advanced to the Challenger Finals live on the LCS stage in Los Angeles on August 12th. And with that loss, of course, Team Imagine will have to compete for 3rd place and the final spot in the promotion tournament on August 11th.
Like you said, all is not lost for Imagine, since 3rd place still gets to compete for a spot in the LCS at the Spring Promotion Tournament. Tomorrow, their opponents will be decided as the semifinals conclude, with Team Coast battling Cloud9 Tempest.
And of course, in addition to that match, there is more Challenger and LCS coverage on the way tomorrow. The European Challenger Series semifinals continue at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time as Gamers 2 take on Mouse Sports. Then it's a new episode of Prime Time League at 4 p.m. and the North American Challenger semifinals wrap up at 6 later that day, later tomorrow. Now, that's all for us here tonight. So for myself, Zyrene, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Good night, and GG.
Adios, mother.
You're a dork.
I had to do it.
All right, whatever.
Really will burn down with the Ignite. No, not yet. In comes Zarif. They catch up, baby. Here's Outsitch to the side. They've got the Victor in as well. Whoa! Dear Lord, ManCloud, good luck on this one. Tries to burst Alex. A lot of damage here. Does not have the flash yet. Oh my God, he wins the trade. Oh, they're going to try for it. Good flash. Shotgun only gets Baby. Crumbs wants in. Going to knock in ManCloud, and down he goes. That's a huge deal. Baby's dead too. Baby's got no ulti. Crumbs goes in. They push in ManCloud. He's got to try to stay safe. Burst comes through. What can they get with this one? ManCloud already goes down. A 2 for nothing so far. A 3 for nothing. This will be the game. That's going to be 3 kills picked up for 1.